Jason Snipe, speaking of momentum, you bought more Netflix.
I did.
Plays into that. I mean, there's been a ton of momentum behind that name. Show the chart.
100%.
Show the chart.
I mean, for me, as it relates to Netflix, we've been talking a lot about their foray into live sports and how great that's been. Obviously, the Mike Tyson fight. We got NFL sports on Christmas Day. But really, what they've done is focus on profitability. The balance sheet, free cash flow continues to grow. Margins continue to grow. The stock's up 90% year to date. So the spread between them and the other players is only growing. So we decided to take the opportunity and add to it.
All roads lead back to the same question. Do you continue to buy into this high momentum market, or do you get a little skittish as the momentum starts to get what some would suggest, like an Ed Yardeni, showing signs of froth? It's a time-old question.
Yeah.
Ride the wave before it crests and turns over.
So, sorry.
No, go ahead. Well, let me say this. I would just say momentum is obviously a real thing, and it's extremely powerful. And I think for me, in our strategy, we're thematic. So we're looking at investment themes that play out throughout the year. And momentum is a theme, whether you like it or not. And I think you have to play it as long as it goes. And it could go the other way, very rough on the downside, clearly. But I think for now, I think it's a place to be.
Look at Amazon, for example. Let's pull up Amazon. Ton of momentum behind that name is part of this resurgence in the mega caps. Apple, Meta, Amazon, new high, up another 2% today. Bank of America, speaking of playing the momentum, you just continue to, you name it your top pick. That's what they did.
So what I've done, and Patty Martell, don't be upset with me for not disclosing this, is that I've added.
Patty's rolling her eyes right now, saying again. She's saying again.
I know. Well, she said coming to show. What do I expect from today?
Exactly.
But in any event, I did add to NVIDIA for a trading position over above what I own. I did add to Meta over and above what I own. I added slightly to Amazon over and above what I own. So I typically, where I trade first in the position I have, those are purely to capture the momentum, into the year end. But they will be sold, as we get into year end. Not the positions, just the trading positions I added on top to them.
So Meta is another good one, Jenny. It's up. Gosh, it was up like 7% as of a couple days ago since Zuckerberg went to Mar-a-Lago and had dinner with the president-elect. You had the TikTok ruling today, which Meta gets a bump off of, and we're going to have a little more on that later, but it's another almost 3% move. Week to date, Meta's up near 9%.
Right, and this is where our kind of new current investment thesis hasn't changed versus a month ago, which is when the shares were at $79, Mark Zuckerberg was really focused on efficiency and cost control. When they're at 625, will he run that as tight a ship? Because I think he needs to keep this growth going. So it's just something that we'll need to wait and see. We've trimmed it along the way, and that's just taking a little bit of risk off, So we're happy to have it. We're happy to have the momentum. We don't want to sell it right now because the gain is huge.
Yeah.
We're looking at year end just a few weeks away, and like everyone else, we're kicking the can on capital gains for a few more weeks.
It's like Joe T. Joe T. on AppLovin, which is. Can we show AppLovin year to date, please? It's up another 8% almost today. It's up 925%.
Right. What do you do with that?
Year to date. Well, I mean, you hope that the momentum continues.
Just past January.
These are the time-old questions. It's like if you got into AppLovin at the beginning of the year, if you got into Bitcoin when it was much lower than it is now, you're like, oh, well, I've done so incredibly well. Now there are tax purposes, too, to think about, clearly. But it's like, well, if there's a lot of momentum left in these trades, do I really want to sell now?
What I find is that a lot of people are saying, like, just get me to January 1st, and then I'll take a little bit off the table. I'll put some of my winnings in my pocket. So that I'm curious to see, which we've talked about already, what happens the day after. Me too.
AppLovin's up 21% in this week.
It's nuts.
So it's just incredible.
Well, the moves all year long haven't made sense. When you see stocks go up 25% because they beat the quarter by a penny, on a base of $4, it's just, it's hypercharged the market.
Yeah.